Hey everybody, it's Jenny Craig Brown and of course Chris Malman from GreatNewsLife and most importantly, all about the girls. How are you?
I'm absolutely honored to be here. You're 10 and you're jacked. I think the people that are speaking are jacked and pretty excited to talk about it.
Yeah. So thanks for joining us. We are here for a little All About the Girls Part 10 Pregame show. We're bringing you the pregame show pre because we want you to be ready for all of the big excitement coming June 12th. So you said it right out of the gate, year 10.
Yep.
We have been doing it a decade.
I didn't want to bury the lead. Year 10 of doing this. I'll talk about your theme. I'll tell everything, and then we could just wrap up real fast.
Okay, sure.
Seriously, go back to the beginning. I'm one of the only ones, I think the only one that was there with you when this was decided. What was the grand vision way back then? You had question. You had an idea.
I think some have heard this story, whether it be through the event or the podcast or just hearing me talk more times than they might want. But I think the biggest thing was I got to come back as I started working for this company. I got to come back from whether it be meetings or events that I was at or just being out in the community at anything. And I would tell you about all these incredible women I kept meeting. And it was great because I came from, I didn't have a lot of women influence in my life. Obviously, I have a fantastic mom and a sister, but and some good friends. But in the career world, I hadn't really experienced that yet. And so it was really exciting to come back from these meetings. And I just kind of, I think, sort of blurted out all this stuff at you like, oh my gosh, they're incredible. And I want to be their friend. And I hope they will know that they're going to mentor me. And I want them to teach me everything. And I want to get to know them and connect with them more. And these are the people that are running our community. And I'm so excited to have met them, especially these kind of really awesome, incredibly strong women. And so I think one day you and I were talking, this is how I remember it anyway. We can fight about it later if this is wrong.
Highly likely true. If it's my memory, I don't remember that well. So,
and I just kept telling you like, oh my gosh, this person, I just met Dr. V. I just met Tracy Brubaker. I just met Marie Foster, like all of these incredible humans. And I think at some point you asked me, how do we get other women to have this experience that you're having? How do we kind of explode that? And I think that kicked off the brainstorming of how do we provide that experience ongoing that I get just for the luck of the job to other women in our community? And how do we let, candidly, everybody know that we have these women in our community? How can we put them in the limelight and put them out there more? And we did. But the first time, as you probably remember, was at what we called a tweet up at the time. So they were these kind of networking events. And we said, well, we've got this tweet up coming up. Let's make that one all about the girls. And so that kind of kicked off the name. And we had no idea if it would work, but we thought, well, if this experience is so grand for me, I think others will feel the same.
Yeah. And so if I like this, I think others will like it.
Yeah. And so how do we, and I don't even remember how we communicated it, but basically we said, I get to do this cool thing. Come meet all these amazing women I've encountered. And I think we chose, I remember first year we had like Nancy Simpson from the Chamber, Darlene Cohn, who was running her own business as she still does today. Heather Ennis, Blair Milo was there. So there's all these incredible humans along the way that were up to be a part. I just asked them like, hey, come speak of this thing with me. I think the theme, we didn't really, well, at the time we didn't do a theme per se. We said, well, let's have them speak a little bit on what we do every day and how positive media and positivity influences their everyday and how they can use it in what they do. And so, of course, 10 years later, that worked. That one was fantastic. We had like 50 people at the restaurant bar and they really enjoyed it. And then we thought, well, since they liked it, let's actually get a theme or a venue. And so the next year it was at Sand Creek and we opened, I just remember being so nervous. We opened it up to 125 tickets. And I thought, that's almost triple what we did last year. How the heck are we going to do this? And we sold out. And then the next year, I think we opened it to, I think it was 200 or 250 tickets. So we kind of doubled it again and sold out again. So the next year we went all in and said, okay, we're going to sell out Sand Creek at 300 people. And we did. And we sold it out and we sold it out and we sold it out. And then, of course, pandemic hit, couldn't have it, launched the podcast instead. and then brought it outside. I just remember we brought it outside because in 2021, we thought, well, people will be more comfortable if we bring it outside.
Yeah.
So we brought it to Urschel Pavilion, and I think that's history, right? We love having it at Urschel Pavilion. We love having it outdoors, and the vibe and the setup that creates, I think 10 years later, we can see is just such a perfect fit for what we do. And they house lots more of us. So we've continued to grow too. Last year we had 425 people.
That's fantastic.
So that's a really long answer to your question. I feel like our tables just flipped there with that one. But I think that's how it all started, was just this random idea of how do we give people what I get just with the luck of what I do every day.
Well, and what I think is fun about it is it wasn't some grand scheme planned out in a 25-page doc. It was literally, hey, this works. This is helpful for me. Why don't we just do it with more people? Oh, that was cool. Why don't we just do that again?
Yeah,
okay,
much like
Let's
how the whole
it.
company started.
Yeah, pretty much like how the whole thing started, of just, I got a notion, and if you got enough people around you that believe in the notion, and the notion's actually good, like, put enough work into it and it'll succeed. For anybody that knows, the company was sort of my idea all these years ago. Everything about it is your idea. Everything about it you do. I have nothing to do with the podcast, the event, the speaker
it's a little
selection.
Bit of my baby.
This is your baby. And
I'm proud of it. Yeah, thank you.
I'm proud to see your baby flourish.
Thank you. So if you guys don't know, if you've never been to an event or you've never maybe heard of All About the Girls, number one, there's still time to grab your ticket. So listen up. I'll tell you all about it. And then you can kind of decide how many tickets you would like to get. So All About the Girls is, I kind of describe it, and I'd love your opinion too. I describe it almost like a collection of TED Talks from women that we choose to speak every year. That TED Talk sort of tells their story wrapped around the theme for that year. Does that explain it well? I probably should say that with
an emotional TED Talk.
Yeah, I was going to say,
less about like
with like more emotion.
How do you become the best leader in the world, and more about like, how do you embrace exactly who you are and be darn confident?
Yeah,
this is a podcast where we don't use bad language.
Sure.
Be really, really darn confident in who you are and what you're going to go do.
That's well said. Yeah. Cause I think that's the biggest thing we try to get to people in whether it be video format or in article format. It's how do you explain the energy? Because it is so energetic there, where you come in and as soon as you walk into the place, I mean, we're outdoors. Downtown Valpo is crazy. All of these great people, because men and women are welcome, as we will mention plenty of times. Yeah. So that's kind of what the premise is. We have 5 speakers every year, and we have through the years brought in a nonprofit partner every year that gets to speak also. And then that nonprofit person gets to come represent that nonprofit and tell that nonprofit and their story, also wrapped around the theme. So this year, once again, we're welcoming back Fighting Pretty. Yes. I think they're on my shirt here, if you can see.
We should have her little boxing glove.
I should have brought her black boxing gloves.
But that night, you'll get to hear the whole story about the boxing gloves. So.
Absolutely, yeah. So Fighting Pretty is incredible. Alyssa Galinsky will be there representing Fighting Pretty. So that's our nonprofit group this year. And they're just, of course, just wonderful. We worked with them last year as well, and just killer group to work with. Find out more about them if you haven't already. Give them a Google. And then the theme for this year, we're celebrating a couple different things for year 10. So we've been doing this a decade, and we wanted to kind of bring back a couple really key things. One being my personal favorite theme, Dear Me, advice you would give to a younger self. So, this was our theme on year 2. I felt like that was the year that like the women we had speaking, like Marie Foster, I'll just never forget her she brought props. And it's just the year that people started to click. We started to understand probably more about what our goal was. And then I think because of that, the world also understood more of what the goal was. And so it was just a cool theme that I felt almost everyone could relate to, which is what we really try to do here, is bring you a well-rounded group of women speakers that you can relate to, one or sometimes all. And in this case, I think that works well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you most, beyond the theme, what are you most excited about this particular year?
Oh man, I love celebrating 10 years. I think that it's just, number one, it feels like we started this a week ago. So to think about it being 10 years is really crazy. That's one of the biggest things.
I'll put you on the spot. What would you say, dear me, to you 10 years ago before you put this on this event? What would you tell yourself now that you've had all this experience?
Oh, what a good question. So my dear me 10 years ago, girl, I think would probably be, remember that everyone else feels what you're feeling. Remember that, don't take yourself too seriously. That's a big one. That combo, because I think when we're doing something like that, I just remember being, so nauseous for 4 days because I'm so nervous and I'm so worked up about, is everything going to work out perfectly? What's going to happen? Am I going to fall off the stage? Like, you go into that worst case scenario world where you're like, okay, what? And I love that on the preparation side, but at some point it also becomes too much for your body. You're just like, why do I feel terrible? And I just remember feeling pretty awful. Like, not that it was going to go bad, just I feel like I'm going to maybe throw up.
You just get super anxious.
Yeah, the anxiety is running high. And I think the only way to calm that down for me is just to remind yourself that you can't take yourself too seriously. And everyone has that, right? Everyone gets nervous and everyone assumes they have a booger in their nose and something in their teeth and they're going to trip and fall. And even if all that happened, we'd still be okay.
Yeah.
And I think that would have helped me kind of enjoy those moments a little bit more. Like if you asked me what my intro was in year 2, 1, 2, 3, 7, I don't know. I sort of go black and I just go for it and hope that I sound okay.
It turned out okay.
Yeah.
I got through it.
We got a whole bunch of people here and they seem really excited. Let's go, And so I hope that I could tell myself to just woosah a little bit, enjoy the moment. Everything's going to go well. And everyone feels like that ahead of these big things.
I've been at these, so I'm aware, but maybe not the rest of the world is aware that your attire varies sometimes more than mine.
Yes.
I go from blue to black, sometimes blue, then blue, black, blue, but it doesn't vary.
A light navy blue.
You don't often see this. On me, that's not my standard approach.
Everyone, hurry up! Take a picture. Take a screenshot.
Yeah.
So you are correct.
It's a thing for you.
Yeah, I think this whole arm of GreatNews.Life, all about the girls, is all about empowering women. If we're going to empower women, we should feel empowered. How do I feel empowered? For me,
so wearing a blue polo doesn't make you feel empowered.
Right, exactly. That's not working for me. I really want to sort of put out front the biggest version of me that I can. And I think things like this obnoxious hat, which was, I think 2 years ago that I wore it now. So that was part 8.
There was the green hero costume.
Oh man, things like that make me feel so empowered and strong and confident. And so I think going a little overboard helps that for me. I don't know why, it's just who I am. But I think, the green suit, and even further back, I think the green, if you go back to year 1 and look, I'm wearing my GreatNews.Life polo shirt.
And that wasn't empowering. I still can't get over that. How is that
I had
not
a great
empowering?
shirt on, but the polo was not working for me. So, and then same thing. I think year 3, I did a 3-piece suit.
Okay.
And then I didn't wear a white dress shirt. I just wore a necklace tie. And I thought that was very edgy, right? I also wore, I think, like a side hairdo that year where it's very, a full rhinestone necktie. It was very, very cool. You should try that out.
I think it'd work better than this hat.
I don't want to give too many hints, but I did hear a rumor of someone else that may be wearing a glittery pink glitter tie.
Ooh.
I'm not saying who.
Cool.
I'm not saying anything else, but I heard there's rumor of a pink glitter tie. So, but it's not me.
Yeah.
So listen, I
hope it's some good looking firefighter.
We'll see. The year previous, I had wore a black jumpsuit that looked like a tux and a cool faux hawk. The faux hawk, I think, was the piece that sort of punched everyone in the face, where that was where I started like competing against myself. Like, okay, well, I wore the faux hawk last year. That was pretty awesome. And it was a curled faux hawk. I wore it for like 2 days because I really liked it. So the green jumpsuit, I think, let's not forget it. I've mentioned it 3 times now, but not said anything about it. The green jumpsuit was one that came almost together accidentally. I really thought this green jumpsuit was really cool, and it had, I love chiffon, and it had chiffon shoulders, like these shoulder flowy pieces that almost like shoulder capes. That's the only way I can describe it, as a shoulder cape. You're welcome. I got it, and it was full sequin. The thing weighed a good 15 pounds, and these cool things went all the way down to the floor. And I thought, this is really neat. Well, I had gotten gold glitter stuff to kind of accompany as far as my jewelry and such. And when I put it on, I thought, I think I look like a superhero. It was totally on accident. And I said, well, the hell with it. I'm going to do it. And I'm going to be a superhero. So I did. And it ended up, it's one of my favorite outfits, I think, of all time. Some other stuff I've worn, this hat obviously was a couple of years ago, as I mentioned.
And you walked in with like a marching band kind of approach.
Yeah, it was very marching band vibes. And then I think, what did I wear last year? I don't remember.
Yeah, the dance team performing, I know.
Oh, yeah. So last year, you're right, the dance team, that brought it back for me. Thank you. So last year, we had an incredible dance team come out. I believe they're 413 out of Maryville, and they are absolutely amazing. And their girls performed, and we accidentally dressed very similar. So they were all in like black and studs, and I was wearing a black kind of 80s vibe, very shouldered, kind of mirrored jacket. So it was this suit jacket that was like, had mirrors all over it, and then some wedge sneakers. Yeah. So I didn't wear any crazy headgear, but I had a really crazy hairdo. And I
felt totally on point because I had this shirt on. Like,
yeah, I mean, how we almost matched. We were like twins.
Yeah.
And a great tie-in / segue. Last year we also had, because I'm not the only one that dresses fantastic. Let me tell you, everybody comes out.
We're not the only ones that dress fantastic.
I meant we. Yeah, you're right. But there are incredible women that dress all kinds of cool. My husband does try to kind of wear something that supports my outfit without being the same. Yeah. So he's kind of tries to not match, but sort of. He's a good supplement to my outfit almost. So he does really well. Last year we had Chelsea Whittington at the end of her speech. This is I'm going to say it's a outfit choice / prop. She put on a cape that was branded Seawit. And I mean, come on, who doesn't want a cape? I have yet to have a cape. So, I mean, I have a cape. I've never worn one to All About the Girls.
And it was a killer moment.
Moment.
You know, her guy arrives and she's including him in the speech and honoring what she does.
Because he didn't feel good and he wasn't supposed to be there. Yeah. And then he was like, I think last minute, apparently, like, I gotta get there. I can't miss this. So he shows up. She doesn't know it. He's standing in the back right as she starts to speak. He just says, to hell with it. He stands up and he's like, I love you, Chelsea. Yeah. And oh my God, it was so good. And everybody turns and is like, what the heck? Like, you know, normally one of these things we're like, all right, all the boys, we just need you to sit down. Not this time. It was so amazing. She sees him. She loses it. She's freaking out. He's there. It was just adorable. And then, delivers an incredible story and ends it by pulling out and putting on the cape.
Yeah.
And it worked into her speech, like just stellar. She gave, and that was the close. So what a wonderful close to an amazing event. Like it gives me goosebumps just talking about it. I love her so much. It was fantastic.
It was awesome. I just remember the picture and she's kneeling down just to the left of the podium. And it was like, bam.
Yes.
Just crushed it.
Yeah. She was wonderful. And so that was sort of a prop, sort of an outfit, kind of ensemble option, but there has been some other cool props through the years too. Do you remember any? I love them, but it took some brain. I had to kind of massage my brain and get back in there to go through it.
I've got a whole list of them here, but I don't want to dominate the whole conversation, so I'll just go ahead and have you you say those.
So the couple I had, Donna Flanagan, if you remember, and this is sort of middle ground. I'm going to call it a prop. She came in early and taped envelopes of money to the bottom of random chairs. And then there was a whole pay it forward message with her money envelopes.
Yeah.
And so some got a certain amount of money. Some were supposed to do this mission with it. There was a couple different missions and everybody had to go do the thing. And then we're going to see the outcome basically. And it was amazing. She followed up later with what she had heard and like people really took it in and they actually did it. Like they really took that $20 and they did something with
kindness and make it spread.
And that was because that's what Donna's whole mission is, scatter kindness. And so that was her scattering kindness. Tracy Brubaker, which I think was the same year. Was it the same year? Does anybody know that? I can't remember off the top of my head. She brought the silver boxes. Yeah. Yep. And so
those were on my list.
Oh, see,
both
you
of
knew.
Those.
You knew. So the silver boxes was all about like silver box words, like making sure that what you put out into the air are kind things and saying good about people. And it was really good message as well. So that was a really fun one. And of course, I already mentioned it, but, and I can only remember the headlamp and Marie Foster did a headlamp. So Dear Me. And it was kind of all about being, if I remember correctly, forgive me, because this is like 10 years ago or 8 years ago. It was all about like being equipped with what you needed. And so she had a headlamp, maybe one of those old school doctor headbands. I'm not certain, but I remember the headlamp because I just remember this great picture we have of her kind of laughing. She's got a head. She's literally wearing a headlamp. Her hair is kind of all pushed up from the headlamp. And it was just so cute and great messaging. Like the message was there and it was so cool. I can't remember all of the props, but she had a whole box under this podium and she just kept pulling them out. And through her speech, I think she changed her headgear like 4 times and it was fantastic.
And she's a great animated communicator. So she's just fun to watch, period.
Yeah. Go Gloria Morris. Her history was that she grew up at Chico's menswear.
Yep.
Like that's where she was as a kid and that's like her upbringing. And so she brought, I think I always remember it as a scroll, but it was more like a piece of paper with measurements, right? And then she also had the tape measure. So she's in like full suit herself, of course, because she's fab. And then she's wearing a full measuring tape that, drags on the floor and this scroll she brings. And it was the same thing. It was just all about her life growing up in that world of kind of that fitting life. Lisa Kuzbel. Do you remember this one? So Lisa Kuzbel, the theme was courage over comfort, which was so fitting because she used to be an airline pilot or an airline stewardess. And she brought up the air masks from like, put your air mask on first was her message as well. Like that self-care, you've got to take care of you. And she just literally walked through the whole thing of put on your air mask first when she got up. And it was so fun and so funny. And I loved it so much. And again, what a cool tie-in to your story, a previous career, and that theme for the year and kind of full wraparound. Like it was just such a good plan and good idea for that speech. It was really cool.
What I like about it is I get to drive home with my wife afterwards and I say, what do you think? How was it? She's like, oh my God, I was so sad. And then I was so happy and I was crying. And then I was so encouraged and that was inspiring and blah, blah. And, Peyton has gone to a number of them as well. And she's the same exact thing. Like they just felt a lot.
Yeah. That's I think our favorite part, like mine, it's my favorite part for sure. But I think it's our team's favorite part too, is not only the energy we all get from that. Like, I think we all leave that. Now it's a long day. Don't get me wrong. We all work from 8 a.m. to 9:30 p.m.
Working, and
and then everybody else has to go do the coverage.
As you guys are.
100%. And like the energy you receive is so amazing. But then the people that don't work at Great News that tell us about the energy they have, and it's just days. Like everybody's pumped 4 days after this event, and you walk away and you're like, you're right. We are awesome. Like, let's not forget it. And it's awesome to walk away with that. Like, that's such a great feeling because now it's not just me feeling confident. I'm more confident because Cammie feels confident. And when Cammie feels confident, Ashley feels confident. And when she feels confident, her best friend feels confident. Now we're out of the office, right?
Yep.
And then her friend and her friend and her friend. And they're all now better off because they just came and hung out with each other at this event for 2 hours. Like, how amazing. One of the best things about this event is tickets are $55. And what we don't probably boast about maybe enough is $55 gets you not only in the door. That's probably the normal thing, is it's $50 for a ticket. Like, you get in, you're welcome. But for us, we want to always give as much as we can. So number one, you walk in, you immediately get signed up for a raffle prize. So we usually have anywhere, it depends on our partners and our sponsors and what they want to do. So we have anywhere from 1 to 6. I think one year we gave raffle prizes, and you get entered in automatically for showing up and signing a little piece of paper. You get your name tag if you want one. And then you come in, and there's this great period of time before we get started. You've got 45 minutes to network and meet all these women. And there's photo booths, and there's great appetizers, beer and wine, and it's open bar. So like, it's included. You don't even have to pay for it. So just why not get that ticket?
And I would say from managers or owners' perspective, if you can spend a couple $100 and you send a table full of ladies out to a women's inspiring night, that's a pretty darn smart spend.
And do you have any favorite memories that you, from all of those years? There was the year that I brought you on stage to be Vanna White. I don't know if you remember that.
That wasn't my favorite.
No? Okay.
No.
That was another
I like being the cameraman.
Like I understand. You're behind. You're behind.
In this kind of stuff, I don't mind being up front, but this is one where, like, what thrills me is it's your event. I think probably my proudest moment was maybe in year 3, 4, somewhere in there, where I wasn't even helping you with the event anymore.
Yeah. It was probably whatever year
like,
Cammie
we're
came
doing
in.
it. And then the second year was like, you're doing it and I'm going to help you. And then in year 3 or 4, this is 100% yours. I've never picked a woman. I've never planned the space. I don't think about anything whatsoever. And that's not good for me just because I don't have to do the work. It's good for me because you saw the potential and then you did it.
Yeah.
And to me, if you're a woman, what's the message you can get out of this? You could do any single thing in the world. Do you want to? You just have to choose to do it. You started here 12 years ago as the lowest person on the totem pole in the company, in a tiny little struggling company. Now you run it and you're standing in front of 400 or 500 women in Central Park Plaza. That alone is inspiring to me. So I want to see tons of you flourish everywhere.
Thank you. Yeah, I completely agree. I think we've been really lucky that people latched on and drove this with us the whole time. And I'm so excited. When Cammie came on, it was so exciting. Like, she was like, I love that. And I want to help with that. And I think that's
and now it's really her event.
I was going to say the same. Like, it took it almost to the next level where I don't plan it either. She does.
This is what she rocks.
Yes.
And
go ahead.
So tell me about these ladies.
Yes. I was just going to say the literal same thing. So speakers this year, of course, as I mentioned a couple times, we'll say it a ton more, is June 12th is the event. June 12th, Urshel Pavilion, as you mentioned. You can get tickets on Eventbrite at All About the Girls Part 10. And this year's speakers are just, my heart is full. I'm so happy to have them. So, of course, we mentioned opening remarks is Tracy Brubaker. So she's going to be our hype woman. Another speaker this year so we've got all the region. So as most know, but if you don't, Great News has now launched our Michiana Life site. We launched last July. So we always try to create a group of speakers that encompass the area in which we cover. And I think we kicked butt this year, getting women that really hit the mark there. So Tracy, obviously very Valpo based, but she also works in Maryville, Cherville area. So she's sort of well known throughout the region, but she's our kind of Valpo girl, Porter County girly. We've got Sharina Gonzalez, who works for A Rosy Place for Children, which is a nonprofit group out of South Bend. So she's our Michiana girly. Aubrey Zelenka, she's from Hammond, and listen, I'm like, I can't give her a title. She's all things. She is the CEO of a couple of different companies that she started. She runs a restaurant right now, Moto Tiki, out of Hammond. She also has a metal fabrication company that her and her husband run, and she's an incredible photographer. And she's also the CEO of the Hammond Redevelopment Group. So she's just like all over Hammond, big proponent for Hammond growing and doing well. Dawn Ziegler is from Meridian Title out of LaPorte. She and I've known her forever. She's one of the most nonprofit involved, giving, attending, kind human beings I've ever met. So I'm really excited to have her.
She's everywhere.
She's everywhere.
If you go to something in LaPorte County, it doesn't matter where it is. She's there.
Yeah. Trisha Hall is the Senior Director of Marketing and Branding, I believe, for North Shore Health Centers. And again, I've gotten to know her better probably in the last 2 years. And I'm telling you, I'm excited for her because I think she's going to probably make people cry. I'm not certain, but she's just really, really I've watched her grow into her own person. And it's just so cool to see. She's awesome.
Yeah, it's that same kind of thing. You watch people become themselves and you're like, oh, I sort of saw that in them. And then you watch them see it in them. And then you watch them demonstrate that in them. And you're like, dang, that's cool. It's fun to watch.
It is. And then our closing speaker is Sherry Ziller. So she is obviously the CEO of the RDA out here in Northern Indiana. That covers almost the whole region, not quite. And I mean, this woman, the things that we've watched her face in that career are hard enough, but also she's doing this. She's got a kid. She's got a husband. She's running a whole life, running the RDA. And she's just incredible as a speaker, really strong, very male dominated field, of course. So yeah, I'm really excited about our speakers this year. They're just blowing and no year I can say is better than the last, right? Like last year was awesome. Yeah. This year will also be awesome. It's just bringing in a different crew of really incredible women.
What I like about it is it's a diversity of people. So everybody's perspective doesn't really have almost anything in common.
Yes.
You got Sharina that's bringing her travels and her non-for-profit experience and her sales experience and lots of energy, and all the way to Hammond where she's bringing artistic, economic.
Yes. Well said.
All kinds of different things.
Yeah. And like giving back to her community and like helping build the community she lives in. And absolutely, you're right. That's exactly kind of that spectrum. And we look for that.
So wrap it up for me. What do you want people to do right now if they're watching this video immediately?
Well, open a new window. Don't delete me. But go to All About the Girls Eventbrite. It's eventbrite.allaboutthegirlspart10.com. Get your ticket. And then I want you to go share about your ticket on Facebook. Go tell these women. Yeah. Oh yeah. We can even, you want to scan this QR code? You could scan this QR code, zoom in and scan this QR code. Maybe Cammie can even put it on the screen. And
I actually asked Jenny if I could be the 8th person speaking that night. And she said, no, we got to make room for the QR code. So
yeah.
If it's hot that night, you can have this. If it's raining that night, doesn't matter. You're under the pavilion. You're all good to go.
Yeah. We have a ceiling.
If it's cold that night, you can bring a jacket. If it's any other kind of weather, it's absolutely the perfect event. So I would say if you're a guy, go. If you're a leader of an organization, send your people. If you are a woman, it's sort of crazy not to go and support others. And if you're driving through downtown that night, Valpo, just remember there's going to be like women all over the place in downtown Valpo. So expect to see little of this, expect to see some laughing,
glitz,
some dresses,
glam, some really awesome. Yeah. Oh, and we should mention pregame, postgame at Radius. Yes. We're hanging out with Chris and the Radius crew this year. So if you would like to hang out with us beforehand or post for a little cocktail or a little meet and greet with the speakers, we're going to try to get all of them over there before and after that we can. So come join us. But you definitely should come to the event.
Yes.
It's going to be incredible.
So listen to the podcast, follow these ladies on Facebook and Instagram and all the other places. Come to the event. You could sponsor the event if you're an organization that wants to show your support. You could send a table full of people to the event if you want to inspire your ladies or well-adapted and evolved gentlemen. But ultimately, let's recognize it is all about the girls in life. And that's why we're all here. I think all of us had something to do, or a woman had something to do with all of us actually being here. So we probably ought to thank them and celebrate them for a night.
Well said. Chris told you to, so you have to buy a ticket.
Yeah. Buy a ticket.
Well, thanks, everybody. I hope you can join us for All About the Girls Part 10. Go find us on social media. Go grab your tickets and come see these incredible women up on that stage telling their story. You're going to love it. Take care.
We'll see you there.